Is Apple $130 stock a good buy right now? I mean, the thing's worth $2.2 trillion. Like, that's crazy. Fun fact, did you know that if Apple never did any stock splits, the stock would be worth over $29,000 today? Bruh. Damn. Hey guys, welcome to Curious Pejjy. And I'm curious if Apple's $2.2 trillion valuation, which by the way, it's the most valued company in the world right now, for now, is a good valuation to start a position right now for the next 5 years, 10 years, and onwards. So as usual, after researching and putting a lot of hours into this stock prediction, I made a very easy to read and understandable chart that predicts the stock price every year up until 2030. And to be honest, it's not that bad. Now, before we get into it, there are some few disclaimers that you should know. Am I a financial advisor? No. Can you rely on this video in making the choice of buying Apple stock or not? I would say yes. All information, stats, and facts are gathered with solid data, so nothing came right up my ass, just like the Tesla video and the Amazon video, which by the way, if you haven't seen those videos, check them out. Can you guys use this video as research towards Apple? Definitely. Do I own any Apple shares? I don't have any Apple shares, but I do have ETFs that do have a lot of it. So kinda I do, indirectly you can say. Should you like this video, you guys should definitely smash the like button. And if you subscribe, will there be more videos like this? Absolutely. Heck yeah, there's gonna be more videos like this. Comment down below what videos, what companies you guys want me to do next. Because I love these things, man. I love this stuff. So everybody knows Apple. Your friends use their products. Your parents, your family, heck, even you probably own their products. You're probably watching this video through your MacBook or through your iPhone. So everybody uses Apple product. The only person that doesn't use any Apple products is me. Bruh. Okay, I lie. I have one, and that's the 2009 iPod. Yeah, I mean, it works, man. 2009 iPod, it freaking works. I use it till now. It's been like 12 years, 13 years. This iPod is pulling a Nokia with me, man. It's been with me thick and thin. And it's just, I mean, I love it. I still use it today when I go to the gym and stuff like that. So it's beautiful. It works. As you guys can see, it works. So yeah, man, I'd lie. I do have one product and it's a beast, man. I'm not gonna lie. And to be honest, guys, I don't know who uses an iPod anymore. But I do, okay? Don't judge me. Other than that iPod, I don't own any more other Apple products. I'm a Samsung boy. But that doesn't mean I think the products are bad. I mean, my iPod still works after 12 years. I'm just more comfortable with a Samsung than an Apple. At the moment, at least. But anyway, back to the point. Everybody and everyone has and uses an Apple product on a daily basis. Now, whether it's their computer, laptops, iPods, iPhone, EarPods, iTunes, Apple Pay, and soon their electric cars. Yeah, Apple is now trying to get to the electric car industry, which that's going to be extremely interesting to see. They're trying to compete with Tesla, but I honestly don't know how that's gonna be. But Apple is a strong, fundamental company, so I'm sure they can find a way to sell them. There's not much information about it at the moment, but they are definitely working on one. Now let's briefly talk about Apple's future plans, because this will help us with a prediction in just a bit. Apple has a very interesting 10-year plan that ranges from augmented reality, virtual reality, HomePod and ambient computing, and much more. The link of this article is in the description if you guys want more depth, but I'm more interested in the Apple car and their M1 chip. Guys, this is gonna blow Intel out of the water. Sorry, Intel. Guys, the M1 chip for the MacBook laptops is absolutely insane. This is like next level technology. The speed and power of this M1 chip is insane. Just check out Max Tech's video comparing the two. One that has Intel and one that has M1 chip, and it's just, the comparison is insane, man. You will look and see how fast this is. I mean, it really does blow Intel out of the water, and if Intel doesn't come up with something better than M1 or at least matches it, they're gonna be far behind, man. I'm telling you this right now. Go ahead and check that out. I'll even have the link up here for his video. It's really interesting to see. As they say themselves, as Apple says it themselves, it's the most powerful chip that they have ever designed, and I think it's the most powerful chip that we have ever seen, really. This is just insane. Now, the interesting part, the Apple electric car. This is where Apple kinda excites me. Although there's little information about this Apple car, and the fact that Apple is butthurt and triggered at the fact that they didn't take the deal back in 2018 when Elon Musk literally went to them and tried to sell it for $60 billion. Well, we know that's worth 10x that, right? Now I get it, Apple is a tech company. They don't want to be in the car industry, as their largest investor, Warren Buffett, had to say this about being in the car industry.
Apple has been suggested by some analysts who are pretty smart that they should get into the electric vehicle business and maybe do so by buying Tesla. You and Charlie Munger, your vice chair, did this years ago with BYD, buying electric vehicle and electric battery company. Would you suggest that Apple get into, or would you support it if they bought Tesla?
Well, I would support what Tim Cook does, but I think it would be a very poor idea to get into the auto business. It's not an easy business.
Bruh, I mean, come on, Warren Buffett, man. Electric cars are now the future. It's no question about that now, man. Come on, man. But overall, yeah, Apple is a little bit butthurt that they didn't take the deal, which is why now they want to make a Apple electric car. Which I guess, it kind of excites me, but how are you going to go against Tesla? I don't know. Which is why I'm eager to see what are they going to do with this car, what specs they're going to have, and other features. I mean, this is going to be a very cool car. It better have autopilot, man, because if it doesn't, I mean, it's just another EV, man, if it even succeeds. But Apple claims that they could be generating about $50 billion in revenue of just the Apple car by 2030. Now, I don't know how they're gonna do that, but I do know it's gonna be one heck of a car for customers to buy. Teslas right now are a no-brainer to switch, man, because of all the benefits and savings that you get from getting that car. It's going to be very interesting to see how Apple is going to be competing with that. But if they become successful, damn. Maybe the $2 trillion valuation is pretty cheap. So we might as well just go all in. This Apple stock prediction is based on the Apple price being $130. So in 2020, they closed about just below $300 billion, and with net income being just below $64 billion. With the shares outstanding, which by the way is going to be very important here, the shares outstanding are going to be very key here because Apple is doing something pretty interesting of about 17 billion in shares outstanding, with the earnings per share being $3.74. With a PE, I know it says forward PE here, but this is the actual PE, which was about almost 35, which giving it the stock price of $133 in 2020, which that did hit $133 in 2020, around that price, giving it a valuation of $2.2 trillion, which is the most valued company in the world, man. That's what Apple is right now. So as usual, guys, I went to Simple Wall Street and I found their 5-year prediction to 2025. For some reason, guys, Simple Wall Street wouldn't give me the December 31st. Instead, they were giving me the September 26th. I don't know why, but that's how we did this prediction. So it's not based off the end fiscal year, it's based off end of September. So as you guys can see here with the total revenue from 2020 from 2021, there was a 20% increase, and I kind of understand that why, because 2020 was a bad year for everybody. I mean, with all the closures that Apple had to do with their stores all around the world, man, obviously hit them hard and obviously prevented them from growing. I mean, that was a year just to maintain and to hold until things get better, which now things are getting better with the vaccines. Definitely 2021 is going to be a big boom. Maybe in the fourth quarter of 2021, we're going to see the biggest boom of all companies all around the world, because that's where everyone's going to start opening up. At least the Western countries that they have the most vaccines available, they're definitely going to bounce back strong, and we can definitely see it in their revenue and income when we look at it. I mean, look at that. It was a 20% increase in revenue from 2020 to 2021 and a 35% increase in net income or just net profits. I mean, that's crazy. That shows a big bounce back. And honestly, it is expected with everything opening up. So I do see this surge or this rebound or this vengeance or revenge coming back very realistic. But the years after that, it just, I guess, stabilizes from, I guess what they're saying, analysts, what they're saying is that, okay, from 2022 and onwards, things should be going back to normal at like at a 99%, literally. And that's why they're showing that Apple is going to have a consistent revenue increase of about 4 to 5% every year. Now the same thing with net profit. I don't know why in 2022 they're saying it's going to be less than 2021, but it's very obvious they're saying that from 2022 and onwards that Apple is going to have a very steady and gradual increase in their net profits, as any business should. Any healthy business should. Now we have to go and find the shares outstanding, and this was pretty interesting because majority of the companies out there want to keep giving out shares, keep selling their own shares so they can generate more money from the public. That's why they go on the stock market. But Apple is doing the opposite. They're doing a whole lot of buybacks, and you guys can see here in the chart. As you guys can see, from 2013 and onwards, Apple has been buying back their stock heavily. I mean, even up until now, it's been like 6-7 years that Apple just continues to buy back. So it was quite interesting to see that. So what I did is that I got the shares outstanding and I put it in this chart over here. And after putting all the numbers here, I got the average quarterly percentage, which was about 1.4%. Every quarter they buy back 1.4% of their shares outstanding, which is crazy. But we're doing this prediction on a yearly basis. So I got every year shares outstanding and I compared it with the year after that. As you guys can see, it was 7.5% from 2018 to 2017, 6.7% from 2019 to 2018, and 4% from 2020 to 2019, which gives us an average yearly buyback purchase of 6%, which is just insane. Let's be conservative and let's say they're going to buy back 4% every year. And putting that number into the formula on the chart, this is what we get. Keeps going down 4% every year up until 2025. Now, based off the net income and shares outstanding, the EPS gets calculated automatically, and this is what we get all the way to 2025, $7 EPS by 2025, which seems to be right compared to other predictions. Now, regarding the forward PE, as you guys can see here, we use the stock price of $130 divided by the EPS, which gives us the forward PE. And with the forward PE of about 35, we get $133. Now, we're going to continue that onwards to 2025. As you guys can see, the PE keeps getting lower and lower and lower, which is a good indication that the stock price is getting more cheaper to buy. Now we have all that figured out. We need to figure out 2026 sales and net profits all the way to 2030. And this is how I did it to be conservative. As we can see here, from 2021 to 2025, the average rate of revenue was about 8%, as you guys can see in the average. But let's take a very conservative route and say 5%, and we're gonna do the same thing with the net profit. And once we extend all that, we get these numbers. Continuing the shares outstanding to 2030, as well as the EPS, we get all these numbers. As you guys can see, from 2030, if the price is 130 per share, we're looking at 11 PE, which is quite extremely cheap. Now, to figure out Apple's stock price from 2021 to 2030, we have to figure out the average appropriate PE to adjust it to the formula so we can get those stock price. And by looking at the PE ratio, the historic PE ratio, we can see that Apple has been bouncing between 13, 14, 13, 14. So the stock price was really cheap back in the day, like for good from 2009 all the way to like 2018, the stock was really cheap. I mean, that's just insane. If I knew that this was the case, I would definitely buy back then, but I was doing some other stuff. But wow, 13 PE is absolutely insane. Now we're sitting at above 30, which is quite expensive. When you look at the PE ratios and stuff, it's quite expensive, but it's in par with Microsoft, Facebook, and some of the other tech stocks being in the 30 to 35 range. So I know I'm going to go out of the ballpark here, but let's say the average PE is going to be 30. Comment down below if you agree with that. I mean, Apple is a tech stock. Usually tech stocks do have a PE much higher than that. But based on history, I think 30 is a bit out of reach. But I think we're going to go to that range anyways. So let's pick 30 as a average PE. And once we pick 30 for that average PE, we can see that the stock price for 2021 is $158. I mean, if we look at the stock price right now, it's approaching $140. So maybe by end of this year, end of 2021, it could be $158. And don't forget, guys, Apple is doing a lot of buybacks, so it does help the stock price big time. In 2022, it's predicted to be $163, 2023, $173, 2024, $192, 2025, $211, 2026 is going to be $233, 2027, $258, 2028, $285, 2029, $314, and 2030 is going to be $347, which exceeding the $3 trillion valuation mark in 2026, which is cool, but I really think they can do it sooner than that. But let's see how they perform. Now, when we look at the stock price for a second, we can see that compared to Amazon's and compared to Tesla's, which by the way, if you guys haven't watched that video, go check it out now or after this video, it's a very slow and steady gradual increase in stock price. And I think I know why. You see, guys, Apple is already established in the whole world. They have a lot of markets in their hands, meaning that the level of growth of Apple can do from now is going to be quite limited. But they are a well-established company and they're always going to be making money, which is why they also provide that dividend of 0.65%. And it's a yearly dividend, but they pay out monthly. So it's a very good passive income to get while you're invested into the stock. But that's the only explanation that I can see here why it's nice and steady and we don't see much jumps like how we do with Tesla. But again, you can't compare Apple and Tesla because Tesla is just the beginning of a new era and just the beginning in their business. They haven't even exported the cars in the whole world yet, like how Apple is exporting and have shops and stores in almost every developed country. So I think that's why we're seeing this slow and steady raise. But let's take one more thing into consideration about this stock. They're saying that by 2030, Apple car, the electric car, is going to be generating $50 billion. So let's put that into the equation. And let's say 10% of that, I know it's low margin because Apple, their margin is in the 30% and higher. But I'm going to be super conservative here and say that Apple is going to be making 10% instead of 30%. So let's see how that looks like. Putting that into the formula, we get a stock price of $360 per share by 2030. To be honest, I think it could be more than that. Again, this is very conservative with the PE ratio of 30. I really hope that that PE ratio is healthy and not too high. But this is what we get, $360 with the electric Apple car included as well. Here's a chart to show how the Apple stock will look like with this prediction. As you guys can see, it's nice and gradual and stable. But don't forget, guys, this is also a prediction and a prediction only. This could be wrong. Maybe by 2025, 2026, something comes bigger and better than Apple and they can go bankrupt. Bruh. Not saying they will. 0.0001% chance that will happen. But it's never zero. Maybe Tesla will come up and they start making Tesla phones. You never know what's going to happen. But we do know that Apple is a well-fundamented and established company and they're going to be here for the next 20, 30, 40 years for sure. And again, this is only a prediction, nothing more and nothing less. Now, an issue that I have with Apple is their buyback programs. When companies do a lot of heavy buybacks into their own stocks, it tells me that they don't know what to do with the money. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic for the investor. I mean, they get a guaranteed return on their investment, but it would be much better if they can reinvest that money back into the company. I get it, Apple has a lot of cash on hand. I mean, a lot of cash on hand. But as an investor, I'll be much more happier if they would reinvest that money back to the company and start new ventures like Apple Delivery or something. You see, and that's why I'm all in with Tesla, because they reinvest everything back into the company. Not that we should compare Tesla's cash on hand with Apple's. I mean, we do have to compare apples with apples here. Funny pun. But I see much more return with Tesla. That's why I have ETFs that have Apple as one of their main holds rather than having stock. So conclusion, should you buy Apple stock? Well, honestly, if you want to be safe, 100%. Apple is a well-established and highly fundamented company. There's nothing challenging it right now. There's no one can go toe-to-toe with Apple right now. Although it is very competitive out there, but Apple is on the top of the list. There's no one challenging right now. Not even that copy of Apple called Hawaii. I don't know how to pronounce the name properly, but not even them can compete with Apple. Kind of like Neo and Tesla. Apple's, it's Hawaii, whatever. Guys, Apple is a great stock to put your money in. Not only does it give a 10% return every year, but it gives an annual dividend return of 0.65%. I know it's not a lot, but it gives you something on a monthly basis. And also not to mention, it's one of the big cap stocks that gives any dividends at all compared to Facebook and Tesla and Amazon. So that's very nice. Obviously, Apple is a much better place to put your money in rather than a savings account. Your money will compound as the chart shows and you will be making them gains, but not as much as Tesla. And that's the Apple stock price prediction from now to 2030. I want to know if you guys agree with this or disagree with this. Comment down below. Let's get conversations going on, man. I want to know your opinion. If I missed something big about Apple, something as big as like Apple Car and the M1 chip, all those and other things that they're gonna do that I wasn't aware of, please comment down below because it does make a big difference. For sure, it makes a very big difference when they have all these projects going on. So let me know. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button. And if you guys really did enjoy this video, check out this Amazon stock price prediction and the Tesla stock price prediction. You will be kind of surprised of what their stock price is going to be in 2030. That's just all I gotta say is that we're gonna be buying them Lambos very, very soon. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.